of the matters, exploring the issues that matters most to you.
And there is no subsidy in that sector, according to the government. So what you have, and the government is very reluctant to accept this, that we are funding the discourse.
6 p.m. only on Mainland 98.3 FM.
In this budget that Yari presented to you, I have facts, constituency by constituency.
Get ready for the ultimate political showdown every Sunday at 6 p.m. Join the dynamic 괊ᴜᴜ, a trusted guide through the maze of politics and current affairs. Political Roundtable,
where the sharpest mind dissect the hottest topic shaping our world today.
Don't miss out on the conversation everyone will be talking about.
Join 괊ᴜᴜ as he dives deep into the heart of the matters.
It's very reluctant to accept this, that we are funding the discourse, they are cash-strapped. And so the government is trying to raise money for them. And that is why...
Tune in to Political Roundtable every Sunday at 6 p.m. only on Mainland 98.3 FM. Political Roundtable, where politics meets passion. Stay informed, stay engaged. Stay engaged.
that Yari presented to you, I have facts, constituency by constituency.
Get ready for the ultimate political showdown every Sunday at 6 p.m. Join the dynamic 괊ᴜᴜ, a trusted guide through the maze of
98.3 FM. My name is Sahib Fuhad, a show where we look at the major issues in the political space. It's going to be a very interesting conversation this evening as we look at three major issues in the political happening within the political parties, particularly the ruling party in Lagos, the APC. I think these are domiciled within the APC. It's almost as if it just has to be an APC thing. Once you get the ticket of that party, you are home and dry. But there's a lot of development. There are controversies. There are questions around the credibility of the process. The primaries are coming up, but there are people who think it's been the biggest challenge so far for the APC in Lagos, sorting and reconciling all political interests as far as the upcoming local government election is concerned. I thought Nuruddin Adegbero is here. Olalekoni would also be joining us. He has promised to join us on the show today to give us an insight into what has been happening in the political space. And so together we're going to be looking at three very, very important issues this evening. The first one has to be Lagos LG elections, local government elections, Lagos position of candidates. So what are the issues? The issues of imposition. The primary itself is going to be an indirect primary, which means it's not going to be open to all party members. How does that work? Is that in itself the reason why a lot of aspirants are worried about look at the conduct of the election itself, what's probably going to happen in the 20 local governments and the 37 LCDAs in Lagos State. So the first issue for conversation this evening. The second one, political interview in recent time by Baba-Ahmed, who is telling Alhaji Atiku Abubakar not to bother to contest in 2027, the new generation to take over the political space in Nigeria. So we're going to be asking ourselves, really, because it's been one of the dominant conversations in the political space. Is it time for the former vice president to give up on this ambition of becoming the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? But all those efforts have amounted to nothing, really. And is it time, like Baba-Ahmed is saying, for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to say, look, I give up, quit the stage while the ovation is loudest, and hope that someone else can get his support of Chief Dele Momodu into this particular conversation, where Chief Momodu had said that, look, one of the reasons why Peter Obi left the PDP was because of Wike before 괰ᴜᴛᴇᴏ has replied, even though I found those replies completely useless because it did not even address any issue. It was just more about insults and name calling. But we will try to look at the issue of Peter Obi. Atiku going to be the second issue for the roundtable this evening. And finally, looks like a politician that is getting depleted by the day. The Kwankwasiyya movement is in the mud, quote and unquote, defections. Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, the leader of the Kwankwasiyya movement, seems to be in limbo. So what are his options? We've had rumors of a possible return to the APC. There are people who have said that no, he's not going to leave, he's going to just maintain his own. There are also talks that, look, the presidency is already reaching out to him to say, look, it is not an issue. We can always create a situation where you become the leader of the party in the state, and so the leader of the Kwankwasiyya movement. What are the political options that seems to continue to drop, reduce by the day? Barrister 괊 Msoɪᴟ, it's nice to have you join us in the studio this evening.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Nuruddin Adegbenro is already seated with us in the studio. It's nice to have you discuss politics this evening.
Good evening and good evening to our listeners.
All right, we'll be waiting for Olalekan Oni. He's promised to join us on the show, and we will tend to make sure he joins us this evening because, again, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to the issue of the local government elections in Lagos State. Well, we are streaming the show live on Facebook, YouTube, so you can be a part of online later on to take your calls and contributions on these three issues. We'll go straight to business. Ahead of the July 12th, that's it, when led to contest in its fourth report. The reports we have is that, look, LASIEC from councillorship positions in the 20 local governments and 37 LCDAs are built for July the 10th, 2025. A total of 432 aspirants have been approved by the APC's electoral committee, the screening committee chaired by Mr. Babatunde Ogala, a former national legal advisor to the APC with Babarinde Nuruddin as secretary, was tasked with overseeing the vetting process and all preparatory activities leading to the party's primaries in the 57 councils. Out of the 470 aspirants screened, 432 were cleared to contest in the primary election. Was Abdul Ganiu Obasa, a son of the Lagos Speaker, Mudashiru Obasa, who was asked to step down by President Baba-Ahmed Tinubu, the national leader, on the upcoming local government elections in Lagos State. Within the APC, I think that's where we've had most of the politicking, really. I think it was just 1 or 2 days ago that I saw some reports that the videos, the pictures, reports, it's almost as if the opposition in Lagos is not really bothered about what is to come as far as the local government election is concerned. But the APC in Lagos on this one is not completely free of crisis and controversy. The major controversy is how the primaries will be conducted, kind of thing in politics. But what do you make of the entire process so far within the APC in Lagos?
So intensified. And whoever controls the local government system, as one of the things that governors or the parties use local government chairmen to do is to rig elections or whip the local community into line. Mobilize, for local government before the Supreme Court told them no in the work. They would rather choose their thugs or political them on what they want them to do. They are also the people who compile the names of party members from the local government that are eligible for party primaries. And involved in this congregation are all the people, all of them are being sponsored by different
interests.
In fact, if you look at the list, I can tell you there are some there, some of the people that scaled through the screening.
Yes.
Some of them are candidates of Tinubu.
Allegedly.
Now you have the GAC members. Of course, if you know how Lagos operates, okay, so this is what is at play. Now, unfortunately, as we have seen, and this has nothing to do with APC alone, whether it is the Labour Party, the PDP, the FDP, or whatever it is called, any political party.
So any state they control.
The problem we have in Nigeria is that there is no democracy within political parties. There's no democracy among themselves.
Charity should have been, start from home.
Yes, but they want democracy among themselves. When we go into a general contest, okay, you hear a party call on INEC to do what is right. But intra-party affairs, there's no democracy within the parties. It has always been looked for is an integrated community democracy where anyone, just anyone with the talent, okay, can go sell himself or herself to the people
without knowing any godfather or any.
Move the country, the local government, the state forward. And the problem here is that most of the people that they have chosen, it's not because of their talents or skills. It's simply because someone is using them as political chessboard or as representatives to go there and secure the goods for them. So if, for instance, we give you, which local government do you come from in Lagos?
Lagos Island.
Okay, so Lagos Island, we say, Fuad, it's your turn to produce the candidate. You are not going to go around looking for the best candidate.
Of the best, yeah.
You are not going to consider his or her, because you'll be expecting him or her to go there and represent you and make returns to you. So what we have, and this is all the political parties' candidates were disqualified.
All the candidates
by the state electoral. In this country, apart from Kaduna State, where we had something close to a semblance system, otherwise, in every state, parties will disappear. So when you say there is no movement or traction in the Lagos PDP, or former minister
Obanikoro
challenged the hegemony
and won
of the ruling party and won, but was this one in?
Never.
So, including the councillorship seats,
everything
none will be left. So what we find here is interests battling themselves for who gets who in place and for what. Don't forget, 2027 is almost here.
Interest, would he be pushing for any?
He may have interest, but I don't think his interest will be that strong.
Of those who want to take his seat?
I think his deputy will have a stronger interest because he's interested in contesting. The chief of staff will have also very strong interest. The speaker will have strong interest.
Well, it's interesting to note that the son of Mudashiru Obasa, the speaker, has stepped down. And it had to take this. Also, one of the dominant controversies, yes.
You know, they say man pass man. And power pass power. Was it not last week that somebody stepped down for Basa's son?
Yes.
He said, I'm stepping down.
But he's not the only one, many of them in that local government.
Yeah, but the young man that we read here said, I'm stepping down.
Because he helped me. But what we are hearing is those that stepped down have now been told that they can now go and contest. I'm going to try and clarify that with Nuruddin. But on the issue of...
So is Nuruddin on the list now too?
He's the of candidates at the local level. But Barrister, before we get to Nuruddin, they are all interested in becoming governors. So they think that, look, the political structure of the state, after the then governor, Baba-Ahmed is now the president, Babátúndé Fáṣọlá did not come because of the influence of local politicking or the influence on traction that could have happened at that level. Even if Babájídé Sanwó-Olú, the current governor, I don't think he ever emerged as a result of local is interested in becoming governor. The focus should not be on Bodilon.
Historically.
Yes.
But don't forget that every part of Nigeria believes that if the president comes from your part of the country,
yes,
you'll be better than another part.
And which is not true.
We've checked it out. He became the president. The South was not better. In fact, he trying to defend himself in a rally in Port Harcourt said,
yes.
I'm not the president to Mark. David Mark was president of the Nigerian Senate. The main road that leads through, that passes.
Why are the Lagos?
So the same thing you are saying here, that people are fighting using the regular turf and the same set of players. Do you understand? The MVP will simply come and be introduced at the dying minute,
and everybody would have to go and sit.
The game, like you said, when Fáṣọlá came in, no, his name was not mentioned.
I remember about 12.
We were hearing about people like former commissioner
Babé,
괰ᴜ.
of course, yes. Just came in.
Now again, we started hearing rumors of of about an Ambode, people like Tayo Ayinde, and then later former Attorney General of Lagos State.
Chashore.
They said it was rumored to be Fashola's
candidate and all.
Some other people.
But at the end of the
deputy governor, current deputy governor, was the leading candidate in the APC. Okay? From nowhere, someone look. Okay.
And then
but again, you know, people don't use data and they don't take his.
So you think it might not really matter on the race to becoming governor in 2027?
Look, whoever Bodilon picks, no Bodilon now, whoever the Villa picks.
Yeah, because the Bodilon has moved to the Villa.
Yes, whoever the Villa picks will inherit the structure that all these people are fighting to build.
Oh, okay, that's always happened.
Yes.
All right. No, because I needed for us to, because when I look at the way, like you said, they don't work with data. Sometimes they just want to do things their own way. But our job is to look at is inherit.
Yes.
At the end of the day, because again, nobody has given us reason. If it is true that President Bola-Ahmed Tinubu told Obasanjo's son to step down, no one has come to say, look, why did the president have to intervene in a local government election? What was the reason for telling the young man, who is probably eminently qualified, and not to run? But we'll expand the conversation later. But Nuruddin, in Agege, let's start with Agege, the one who's going to emerge at the end of the day.
You remember what I told you?
Yes.
That until the day of the screening, because a lot of things happened. In fact, a day after, do you know that there are some chairmen?
From
no, it's just for they do it by local government. Like on Tuesday is for all those Agege, Apapa. So they have different desks
for different local government.
And the second day is for another local government entirely. But we know those people.
But at the end of the day, the list is now complete from what we are hearing.
At least for those people that were cleared. But we need to put one thing, 38 that were disqualified. They are divided into. There are some. Somebody that wants to.
If you don't get that,
there are some people they want to contest for chairman within their party, and they don't want PVC. And
I trust Babadian Gala anyways to have been able to do a good job, and according to him, he's done all he needs to do, and it's just
no, they
the right
see
thing.
A lot of faults. Is he the one in all tables?
Well, he was not the one in all tables. Yeah,
in fact, I know somebody that was cleared. I won't mention the name of that person. No, not to put Gary results. And they were screening, and that is the list according to the constitution.
Yeah, if the president needs the SSC, well, if the chairman doesn't have it, why does it matter? Let him bring it up.
So that one. Is
but I want us to talk.
How is this? There are some calculations going on. According to information from Abuja, which is authentic. I have like 2 sources that confirmed it. Because contact at the Villa election is 3 days. So for him to be there, he will be part of the conversation. That
most likely.
If you are a speaker, only one in Agege.
It's called consolidation.
So because of that, because he didn't even play with those people here. In fact, when the boy wanted to buy for
this money or somebody had to go and pay.
What happened is that there are some comedians that packed themselves together. They said they pull resources together to bought the form for him.
No, it's not impossible. They might just love
has
the
been bought. No, Fuad. The form said the form. I was visiting that place to know. In fact, I have the time of every one of them that bought the form. The time they bought it.
He has stepped down. Is the guy that stepped down, the vice chairman that stepped down for him?
Yeah.
Is he back?
No, he didn't even buy the form.
Oh.
I said, look, like a Jeba meeting, also bought the form, but he was also begged not to submit the form.
So that means this Obasanjo's son's ambition affected those other guys. They probably would have.
Now, then another thing again is the APC party chairman in Agege.
Okay. Age is.
The one is 64. Let's say football age.
Football age,
no, there's no. You're not going there to play football.
No, but
I wanted you to clear that.
According to the verification on the APC database,
okay,
he's 64.
64.
So the man is 73.
How do you know he's 73? You could have.
Look, if somebody you've known for over 32 years,
his son's
that I know his first son, that I know his grandchildren, leave that particular one. The day for Agege has lapsed. But the second day, the 2 local government chairman, current local government chairman in Agege and Orile Agege, moved this man from the hospital. I know the name of the hospital, I don't want to mention. Move him to the secretariat. I don't know how he was cleared. This particular man in question. Screening, there is still a place for substitution. Yes.
So the person will just step down.
The person will write that.
Why are you surprised?
certain aspirants that are placeholders.
As we speak.
So now.
So why can't the main people contest now?
No, because now there is another calculation that said that Obasanjo's son will be filled as the vice chairman.
To become chairman.
Yes, because what it means is that even if they are sworn in and the man just resign on health ground, the vice chairman would automatically in charge. If you go and see, some certain local.
The one of Ojokoro has been trend.
This is the second term. So because of that, there are a lot of calculations going on and a lot of virtually all of them scale through the screening.
All the aspirants.
Those ones that are meant for the Godfathers. In fact, they are the ones that have the highest number of in performance rating. They are the one, of the headers, the battle of the Godfather in Ijayojokoro.
But Mr. Curtis, this issue of indirect primaries, because
primary, according to them,
yes,
for the chairmanship primary, right?
Primaries, yes.
Now there is a new update for councillorship. Is going to be direct primary.
Chairman indirect, councillor. Why?
Primaries pick the winner in APC from AC to ACN to APC. They will fight, and when they fight, at the end of the day, they will go text message from Hackman. So what it means is this: they will fight. They want them to go and fight yourself. After that,
make it difficult to resolve their issues. So at the end of the day,
bring it back, and selection will still take place. I can tell you, with what is still somebody that have SSCE and somebody that have PhD has a party ticket, he has PVC, he has tax clearance, and at the end of the day,
maybe the considerations are not just the certificate.
No,
it could have been that
they put the criteria on ground 10 to SSCE.
You see,
at least PhD should be about 50.
But we don't know how many other considerations,
Who told you they are looking for PhD?
No.
Is that what they're looking for?
No, we have no.
It's a problem.
Here is loyalty. Loyalty to party.
So how do you measure loyalty?
No, one thing is that if they are put loyalty as part of the criteria,
it might not be spelled out as loyalty.
No,
it will have some other name.
But the thing there is this: those ones that have godfathers,
yes,
in terms of marks.
Have higher marks. And that's loyalty by Sakoti is talking about now.
During the primaries of the party that produced former governor,
yes,
eventually
it was the best, but it was not given.
Yes.
Why? Because it's too independent
minded
and it's too intelligent. It cannot be controlled by the party leaders.
It cannot be trusted.
Don't think that those who are screening people are actually looking for
your
PhD. Or looking loyalty to the party leadership.
Automatically, they won't ask them to bring their certificate.
You understand? No, these are formalities. Don't look when there are vacancies in CBN. Even before the it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what they want.
Well, because I'm sure that before you even get to the point of screening, there have been checks and rechecks.
They have decided.
Then another one, there are some certain aspirants too that they find it difficult to fill their form. How? Part of the form is that I'm
how to read and write.
Didn't you hear
Abikadabiri saying we have positioned people near the ballot boxes? When
delegates that chose the presidential candidate couldn't again. I don't
know if you remember that when he was governor of Ekiti, he appointed a carpenter.
Yes.
Whom he said was his supporter as local government chairman.
Yes.
Carpenter who didn't go to school.
And he said, what is he going to be doing? Is he going to be carrying
number one criteria?
I said this one.
No, that's
this one.
But
it's about the issue of the primary, so that we can move to the second issue. It's also very important to us this evening. Indirect primaries, direct primaries.
Whatever method they want to use.
At the end of the day,
pick the chairmanship candidate.
This is just a dance for the public.
All of these stories of screening. Because I've had from my conversation we'll decide. Yes.
Whether you are doing direct or indirect primaries. What is the difference?
So why worry people to take forms and contest?
You remember what happened in Anambra State? Disappeared during the election.
Yes.
Nigerians have lost faith in the electoral process. You know that with the introduction of the PVC, you remember that voting numbers dropped and below 1 million. You understand? Even Lagos too, it dropped.
Yes.
They will start voters in Lagos. But what happened during the election? Less than 1 million
voted.
You
know, just stop complaining and talking, get into the system. You also go and try. And now, look at local government, for example.
Those people can also get into the system.
Well,
it's not only us.
No, because again, remember as a
you have
chair,
to fight to win the attention of the party leaders.
But so it's not really about your talent.
No.
So
look, I dare you, for those people who are talking, that some of us just come here to complain. We cannot amend our character or our values,
ideals and values
to fit in. Now, let me tell you, if you are doubting what I'm saying, join any party. The party leader has just said, this is the direction you should be going.
For democracy itself.
Simply about what the leader wants.
Okay, now.
And it's not only for APC. I'm talking about political parties.
Yes, for double jeopardy now on elections, local government elections. So if you feel, okay, I can't break into the structure of this so-called godfatherism within the party, that most likely...
And apart from wasting your time, you'll be accused of anti-party activity, you'll be accused of disloyalty, and you'll be marked never to gain anything again in Lagos or in the other states. Okay, so except there's a change of political fortune and something happened, otherwise party. Now, if you listen to the former Labour Party candidate, I think the former PDP candidate in the last election, one Valentine Ozigbo, who is now, he wrote a petition against Nicholas Ukachukwu, alleging that
he has not spent the number of months.
Apart from that, and that the certificates are questionable and all that. But he's willing to abandon that if the party leadership said to him to do so. And the only bargaining chip why he's pursuing Nicholas Ukachukwu is not because Ukachukwu has forged documents, but he's using that as a bait to get something in the process. So the same way the political leaders also use, possible employment or appointment the winning party.
Yes, there's enough to share.
Yes. Well,
aspirants.
12.
Unsuccessful. And there is one that even have performance score of 100%.
In
Ojokoro. This represents different power holders. The
in
Ojokoro. And with it is going to be...
Person is governor in Imo State in Nigeria. What are you talking about? The governors.
So the man with 100% may not see emerge as...
No, it's not compulsory because
it's just for screening.
Governors, super elite met, conducted the election. What happened?
Okay, yes.
They conducted an election. Who won the election? Minority.
What
are people talking about? These things are just play for the boys.
Okay.
When the man enters the race, you see the result.
The main, at the end of the day,
4. The 3 are joint body.
Yes, no.
The main guy.
They know the main guy.
So we have a lot of placeholders on that list. Okay, we'll keep our eye on, because it has to be the APC really. If we're going to be talking about the seriousness that has to come with the local government election, it's just down there. Probably enjoying themselves.
Even the person that will head the staffs of LASEC is going to work just local government SCDA as offices.
The meat has fallen into
the primaries are coming in a few days' time. So we'll see how it all ends, whether direct or indirect.
If for the governorship, if they do for that councillorship, I can bet it that if they should do direct, they want to do, there will be crisis. Although those people that have written their name, have written name already before the crisis, but there's going to be.
And you had young men, who were so. But I remember that at the end of the day,
nowhere.
Somebody they say
from the leader.
In fact, at that point, it was not even the leader. They said the wife of the leader knows the boy. He's a family member to the wife of the leader, and that was how the guy became a councillor. And after the election, nobody saw the guy again. He was not interested in.
Thank God that he did not even show for screening.
But if the leaders are interested in
surely it's going to be screening.
Before we move to the next issue, yes.
Why do you think situations or circumstances may arise where
to accommodate these kinds of interests?
Look, I said there is no democracy within political
even the political parties.
They just want democracy among the parties.
Okay, let's move to the next issue again. It's almost everybody, but we'll decide to streamline our own focus on that interview to what years old to give his ambition to become president a second thought. According to him, Atiku should not be on the ballot. Look for a younger person to support with his political structure. Barrister Curtis Harigba, there's been a lot of talk about Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. The fact that for every election cycle, he's always around. He's always making his president. For 2027, his body language, his movements, shows that he wants to give it maybe another shot. But there are people who have said that, look, this continuous quest, this decision to always want to run and hopefully become president is one of the number one reasons why PDP is in disarray. There are also people who think that, look, why not just smell the room, smell the coffee, read the room, and see that, look, the political for Alhaji Atiku Abubakar to say, okay, well, I've tried from 1999, 1992. It's been over 2 decades of my attempt to become president. Let me just say it's time to, throw in the towel. Do you think it's a wise decision to take, or you think, look?
I think first and foremost,
yes,
we must accept here fully qualified to be president of Nigeria. In fact, he served as vice president after he had won, who then became governor in his place. It's also important to note that Atiku has contributed significantly to what the PDP is today. And that Atiku, in his own mind, will be thinking that there are people before him, people like Abraham Lincoln, who tried and failed so many times.
And eventually got it.
He will also be looking at someone like Muhammadu Buhari, unlike Buhari that got it the 4th time, that he may get it the 5th time. I think this is about his 4th attempt. Because don't forget that in 2007, he ran on the ticket of AC. In 2011, he challenged Jonathan, but he did not run the national election.
Yes.
But in 2015, Buhari, that was 2nd attempt. And in 2023, again, he challenged. So Atiku may be, those who are calling on him also not to run have their right to call on him not to run. And I want to disagree with people who believes that one of the reasons why the party can be strong and effective, and the party can choose its candidate. Do you understand? Because don't forget that even when Atiku did not disintegrate,
yes,
the party was still strong.
It was still strong, yes.
Now, what happened in 2023? Now, and I say to people, if WİKE had been on the ticket of the PDP, Atiku and WİKE would have been a stronger challenge. It would have been a stronger challenge. The fact that traditional PDP states, or a state like Oyo where you had a sitting governor that couldn't deliver, would have gone to the PDP. PDP there. So okay?
and if at least the margin would have been a little bit.
The margin from Oyo was huge.
No, it was huge because again, Makinde worked clearly against Atiku's interest.
Thank you.
So if those 2 states and some other states like Benue
were in play, because what was the difference in terms of the votes between Atiku and Tinubu?
And in terms of states too,
from the southwest, south-south,
and south-south, yes,
south-south, and then the southeast. Where
went completely to the Labour Party.
The Labour Party. That was what happened. So, and support that person, you guys will win. But they also have their point. But people do not understand that he is qualified to be president of this country like any other person, and that he has a chance of getting it. Atiku is not going to step aside. Those who are talking about age also should understand that I think Atiku is about
78 now.
78. Well, I also want them to know the current United States president will be 79 in June. So Atiku looking at those people,
Donald Trump, for example,
we say, well, I don't think I'm too old to be president. Atiku looking at Paul Biya, we also say he's not too old. Atiku looking at
Yyᴜᴜᴜ Paul Biya's own, Museveni's own are not good examples to me. Those ones are not good examples.
Officially, what is the age difference between Tinubu and Atiku? Again, you understand what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
Look, it's a difficult topic for anybody to national interest. But I say, okay, I think it's more of national interest. It's space for him to enter and win. All this will be like pouring water on stone. Okay? So, I'm in any case, that guy, Baba-Ahmed, is discredited. Nobody takes him seriously anymore. It's not telling Atiku alone. It's also telling President Tinubu not to run. That he has failed. I'm sure you saw that in the interview.
Of course, yes. So we just, because again, there have been talks about Atiku. It's time for him to support Peter Obi, for example. But there are also people who think that, look, if you want to have a very good fight, one who has got the political machinery all he has to do now is to look for alliances.
Waziri Adamawa is a strong politician. He has contact all over the country.
Over the country, yes.
I think it was just 2 days ago that a group of youths in Nigeria gathered in Abuja to give him an answer. But I think he will make a decision that is right for him and possibly right for the country. All these sentiments about, he's too old, he should look for something younger. Well, you know, just like I say to people, you know, it's in Nigeria. Sacking a coach has comes with a lot of implications. It has to be paid. You know.
So you just sack him, but the club is looking at a lot of. You are not even seeing the contract.
But for me, yes, I think one, people must know that it is a legitimate right of Atiku to run at any time that he wants, even if it is 100 years, according to the constitution of Nigeria. The last time I checked,
there's no age limitations to running
because you are 100. That one is one. Then two, for people that knows with the current political structure in Nigeria, no central and other geopolitical, but majorly all the northern states, you cannot become a president without having some marginal numbers. Here is this. There are some certain places in the north that already made votes are for some certain individuals like Buhari, like Atiku.
They always get out the numbers.
Yes, just like the same way Tinubu, that there are some certain states in the southern part.
He knows how to get the numbers.
He knows how to get those parts, whatever. There are a lot of young presidential candidates in 2023 election. What is the combination of the vote of
they got?
How many Nigerians voted for them?
For them. Okay, Nuruddin, because I need to, we have to. It's a very interesting message, so I found this one very interesting, and Barrister Collins, I want us to quickly respond to him. I think he's trying to put analysis of the local government. He wants to put it into some form of question. But I'll read it out, and I want you to respond to him. His name is Kolawole Kazeem, and he's saying, I think you are helping bad politicians, bad political parties in the country, which people can join to contest elections. And many of these parties are looking for members. It is analysts like you who must lead people into thinking that they cannot win an election unless they join big parties. Just because APC and PDP have been hijacked does not mean people don't have options. Remember, your analysis is not helping democracy, it is destroying it. Barris, I want you to respond.
I don't respond to such opinion is like a nose. We all have one. That's his opinion, and it's entitled.
And Kolawole must know one thing. Local government election in Nigeria is a governor's election. A place where governor is not the godfather, is a government that love a kind of
open democracy. But we are talking about reality here.
That is on ground here. Go to KANO. There is no political party that will win local government election than that particular party that is controlling that particular state.
Remember in Abia State, the governor brought in ZLP. We like to put this in perspective so that you understand that, look, you are not more optimistic than us from severally. To allow for thinking like this, like purposely read it out, even though I find you understand that, look, you can have all of these moral assumptions in your head. But when
you go for one political party, you gather the money for the form.
And any political party, I think they are 18.
Yes.
And please, we will call for support on this platform. We will support you, and then see how it works. So that you because again, we say these things and you think. So it's a challenge to you, Kolawole Kazeem.
Some people bought even to fill the form
for them
to fill some authentications or whatever. If you don't give me 100,000 naira, I'm not going to sign. So if you don't give me 50,000, I'm not going to sign.
Kolawole Kazeem, we are not discouraging you from joining a political party of your choice. Please go ahead and let us know. We'll support you.
One thing that I have found out is that Nigerians hate the truth. You understand? There are a lot of things that Nigerians hate. And one of them is the truth. We are a nation given to lying propaganda. Look, who doesn't know that the political process in this country today is not open?
Yes.
Even the small parties that is talking
to a standstill.
Go there is the same thing you will find.
So We will support you. Just three people. Papa is there. Abure is there. The other newsman is there. So we are discussing the reality of the politics, but we just have to say it the way it is. So I excuse your party, and we support you, and then you come back and tell us your story. No. We even need this. Look, he can still appear on the ballot, but he has all the connections.
He has deep pockets.
He has
deep contact. He has structure.
He has been on ground for long.
But barrister, he has all of these contacts. He has all of this structure. Look, Mr. Peter Obi became a major challenge for him. So
from the moment he made up his mind that he was not going to run with Obi this time around, and that he was looking for somebody from the south.
From the south, yes.
And left the PDP to go and join Labour Party because he wanted to run as presidential candidate. Now, if he wasn't going to run with Atiku, okay, then he needed to run on his own because he didn't want to be vice to any other person. You understand what I'm saying? So what you could blame Atiku is that maybe in terms of conclusion, other than even what Okowa himself is saying now, saying he made the biggest mistake, it's just that it just didn't work. So like every other human being, Atiku has got his weaknesses.
I need people to understand because he got all of this contact, and it's obvious that with his contact, it
could have predicted the impact
of Peter Obi. Now Peter Obi is still solid. Yes,
the organic support he enjoys.
He's still solid
because of he's done a very effective retail politics. He's gone to the right set of places.
Yes.
He's visited those who needed to be visited. He has spoken out when he needed to speak out, and it's having effect. Now, if Obi joins any other political party, if the PDP is
I'm talking about Atiku now.
Yes.
I removed the PDP from
Atiku is PDP. And they want to be effective. They must factor Peter Obi in.
That factor, how does Atiku solve it?
So it's left for Atiku and Obi to decide.
If they want to work together,
would they do a rerun
of 2023
of 2019?
Okay.
Or the one of 2023,
or go their separate ways. If they cannot, Nigerians might choose to vote differently. Do you understand?
I'm with you.
Because there were those. You see, it's just like when you have a three-party run in an election, and then the candidate who scored the two highest votes. It's not enough to just say because one won outrightly in the first ballot,
he's going to win.
Because the dynamics changes. Sometimes the third-party candidate will say, "My supporters should go for number two."
Yes.
You understand?
I'm with you.
And the reasons for which some people voted for number one then may be different, and they now go and vote for number two. Trumping.
If ours is
again is this that some certain people are looking at is this. You cannot be doing the same thing every time
and expect a different result.
And you expect different results. That some people are looking at, okay, if he can leave the race, back somebody maybe from the north or from the east, maybe the person is going to partner Obi, or he and Obi is going. Do you know that in every state now they are still holding their meeting, not for Labour Party own. Anybody that is looking at the presidential election must factor, then we are going to see. But one thing there is that it is not fair on the part of those people that are saying maybe Atiku should not run, but the current president can rerun. Looking at the age differences between both of them. So if you said Atiku cannot run, but Tinubu can rerun, what is the age difference?
It keeps coming back. Yeah. So they want something new.
They are saying they want something new. Goes together. What is their number? How many people?
Peter Obi has also been showing some interest. It's not completely ruled out the possibility of a coalition, even though factional. I'm talking of. I said factional, and I'm talking of the Abure and Co. Think that look
wanting to discipline the governor of Abia State.
Paying the rent of their offices across the country.
Rent can be no, you know politics more than this. The rents can come from they can outsource their rent.
No, it's true.
You know, I say political roundtable, mainland 98.3 FM. Yes, I know. So I want us to touch on this issue: the political future of Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso. The wave of defection reshapes the landscape. We've been hearing of rumors that Senator Kwankwaso may be eventually joining the APC. In fact, the governor according to reports, he may likely join the APC too as part of defecting governors, the supremacy battle that may eventually arise if Kwankwaso decides to run to the APC. And they're already talking about the model we have as state. We saw Festus Keyamo, the Minister of Aviation, telling the governor that, look, every other leader,
no, he didn't have to.
You are now the leader of the APC in this state.
What did Omar Agege say?
Omar Agege too seems to have been whipped to line with the governor. And you can see that Keyamo was very direct. In fact, what he said was anybody saying something else, because there were other senators there. Yes. Nedu Nwoko and others were the other leaders of that. The leadership of the party now has now been handed over to you, the governor. And according to Festus Keyamo, Mr. Governor, show us the way, lead us. So there are people who also think that, look, a Kwankwaso returning to the APC could see a situation where the president...
No, that Kwankwaso left the APC because he was not chosen as vice-side Buhari, Atiku, and I think who again? For the APC primaries in 2015 to fulfill his presidential ambition. Now, it's also been rumored that the president is considering Kwankwaso to replace Kashim Shettima.
Oh, you know, groups will always come up.
Yes.
Based on what you have said, we are also telling the president, you must retain Kashim Shettima as your running mate.
Of course, it's very lucrative, and for that Ganduji. But let me tell you, this is what I think is happening. The movement from the movement beyond the red cap.
So collapsing may not be that difficult. Yeah,
it's still APC in the red color.
Oh,
that's one.
So the cap does not have any ideology, really. Okay.
People just follow bandwagon effect. Now, the truth of the matter is that if Kwankwaso today wants to join what has started happening in Canada that you are saying is an excuse for him. I will come out and
so
say,
that these ones have been moving.
I'm a leader.
So,
you don't have political followers deciding anything on their own. I give the example of the Delta Test Commissioner who told me the APC was dead in Delta everywhere.
And a few days after.
And said, look, the governor cannot consider such. And a few days after, he was among the people following the governor around when the governor moved.
So those movements out of the NNPP could have been. My people have moved. I'm a leader. I have to listen to them.
I have to listen to them. And then what happens is that if Kwankwaso cannot get the vice presidential slot, he would then be promised to get the president of the
a possibility. What Pastor Kwankwaso just said.
In Nigerian politics,
you followed Kwankwaso, you know his trajectory.
Anybody can move. But one thing about Kwankwasiyya is this. That Kwankwaso himself needs to watch it. I know that the governor move and is not from the body language of Kwankwaso.
You think he can even move without Kwankwaso? He would move. Yeah,
he can, because the reason there is that State House of Assembly has that. In fact, he has, let me say, 90%
control of that house,
of that particular house. So one thing there is calculating and looking at the body language of the people of Kano.
And you think that Mr. President too wants Kano desperately ahead of 2027, and so would be so happy to get him back?
Look, as much as what happened in the north, all those people that promised him we are going to give you 1 billion shows now on the issue of Kaduna, supporting the governor there. So over 1 million vote went to
Kwankwasiyya election.
So automatically
he needs that vote.
He needs that vote, and he knew.
Have also been moving.
So automatically he wants, and he knows that he can back majorly on the northeast. Automatically with what we have in the south, then calculation and permutation here and there, then you'll be able to get the calculation that he needs. But Kano is central to the real
southwest, which is looking very, very good for the APC at this time. If I can solve the problem of the South-South, which is also looking very, very good, politically speaking, for the APC.
So
Northwest, if I can resolve that.
With the way he has tailored, there is a book that was written about his philosophy. Now, you know that in the next 2 years now, what he wants to do, because of a lot of backlash he has got in the area of appointment, you'll be seeing in Nigeria, Northwest, that have a seven states
very important.
Is very, very important. And that's why you see that Kano is one of the things that is looking. But also, Kwankwaso is doing his own calculation. He is also looking at the coalition also. Because he's getting the filler from the northerners, not the politicians now. From the northerners. That a lot of them have some certain things within their mind against.
See, a Kwankwasiyya movement run the race alone in 2027?
Yes.
So it might go either to the APC or the coalition.
Yes, because one thing that he's doing now is this. I told you that if Kwankwaso is not going to win in any state, at least he's going to win very well in KANO, APC. So one thing that is so certain is that he's also looking at the calculation. But any day that Governor Yusuf moves to APC, you should be able to know, that Kwankwaso is already going to.
So it's just the next announcement you see Kwankwaso in the APC. Well, it's been a brilliant conversation so far. Political roundtable, personal issues. So, but I think he's been able to really give it got very good analysis on the 3 issues on the roundtable this evening. Nodin Adegbero is still here with us in the studio. I was hoping that we'll get Ʞᴟ to join us, but I think he's not going to be able to make it. I was hoping that it was also a lot of issues really. If you are a member of the APC and you have very good information to give to us around the upcoming party primaries, you are always welcome to call in 09136 000 410 09136 000 410. I think we have some issues with on the show this evening, but you can call in now 09136 000 410. Political Roundtable, mainland 98.3. Elections are coming up in a few weeks' time. What do you think about the issues that we have so far talked about? We've also talked about, say, look, let me quit the stage while the vision to run the race. All he needs to do is to look at his own weaknesses, see a movement, who is also a major political figure in the movement, is threatened. These defections are happening from the party to the APC. But by Sarkozy thinks that, look, these are movements that are well known to the leader of the movement himself. It will eventually be a very good excuse for him to also join them in the APC. What do you think? So, mainland 98.3 FM.
Hello?
Yes, hello, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Fawad.
Yes, good evening.
You have Mr. Desmond on the line.
Yes, please go on. Please go on. You Mr. Desmond. Yeah, you have 1 minute.
Okay.
Calm down. You talk, just calm down. This sweeping generalization, I'm sure you know it doesn't work in politics. And everybody cannot see. You think that there are people who should not vote for the APC because of your approach this conversation with some level of decorum.
So with how expensive that you are running the
but wait now.
If it's not
Unisa. And I also want us for every so which of the topic are you talking about? Yes.
I wanted to make my point. You didn't make me. I don't even like to make my point.
All right, we talk
on me. If Tinubu was performing, I don't have problem with him. I reject Atiku because Fulani man go, Fulani man come. It's not possible. And I know that Tinubu cannot perform anything. I know Tinubu for Lagos. That is what I was going for Obi. So I asked my boss to carry 14 passengers into three times. How many passengers did that?
I was waiting for him to address one of the 3 issues. He still went on and on discussing the situation of the country issues on the roundtable this evening. And so if you're going to call in and just go general, I might just have to discontinue the conversation. I want it to be a conversation that is deep, really, that brings out a lot of interesting, what do you think? Do you think there are issues? What do you think about the upcoming election? The second one is Atiku, the advisor, is the future of the leader of the Kwankwasiyya movement. But Sarkozy thinks, look, all our show, all our wash. But good evening.
Hello?
Yes, good evening.
Yes, so good evening, my brother Fuad.
Good evening.
Yes, I greet everybody.
Your name, sir?
Okay, calling you from Abulado.
Okay, please go on, sir.
The man says that anyone who love Nigeria and Nigeria is in that this country should survive will not go to APC.
Okay.
At all.
Right.
Except they don't want Nigeria to survive at all.
See
how we are dying.
That established as your opinion. So any of the 3 issues, what do you think that we have on the roundtable this evening?
You say what?
What is your opinion on any of the 3?
Well.
Okay, we discussed 3 issues. Lagos State local government election. The movement of Kwankwaso supporters to APC.
And Atiku.
Okay. And Atiku. What do you have to say on any of these 3
issues?
Okay, the local government election in Lagos already you know that the APC don't reach the election. Yes, they don't reach them already. So Banjo is a good man. Saraki is a good. They are good. These are.
Oh, okay. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Boy. Long time.
Yes, good evening.
Thank you very much. I greet you again.
We greet you too.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is Madam Bello.
Madam Bello, put the phone close to your mouth. You are sounding very far from your phone.
No, currently I am calling you from Kefi, Nasarawa State.
From Nasarawa State, okay. How is Nasarawa this evening?
Yes. And I'm just like,
okay. Please go on.
That's it. You see, opinion. But I don't believe that his opinion is superseded the opinion of all Nigerians. Because in this country, if you remember, when Margaret Thatcher became a speaker of the State House of Assembly, we knew her age. What she made difference as a young person, put on the table of Kogi people as a governor of Kogi State for 8 years. We also knew when the former Speaker House of Representatives, Oladimeji Bankole, became a Speaker of the House of Representatives. So I think whether Atiku is old or is not old, it has nothing to do with leadership. The most important thing is that what we are looking for in this country today is leadership.
His point, yes.
Can you tell me that from 1999, most of the people that we had as governors were old men? They are not old people.
Young people.
How old was the current president when he
when he was a governor? He was in his 40s.
How old was Fᴏʟʟᴏᴏ when he became governor?
Another one.
And he did Amala politics all true. Nothing.
Oh, God. And everybody in the house.
It's been a while. Did you travel?
Well, I traveled, really.
Oh, okay, you're welcome. Where are you calling from this evening?
I'm still very much in my area. No business there.
Okay, please go on, sir.
Well, my brother, I think the idea of asking somebody not to contest is just out of it. When you compare the age of the one you ask not to contest and the one that is there now, what is the difference? One is even more agile than the other. We see videos and we see how things are done. Why are we political in this country? The issue of these boys, the speaker song is still going to be the chairman for AG. Write it down.
How?
Well, you know, they went at it. This was unable to chase the speaker. Is that a voodoo? That is just a fact of it. You see, at times that's why I don't like calling. People are discussing to come back again. It's still there tomorrow. I don't chase shadows. This is me. That's why at times you see me as if I am a bit volatile. I'm not. I will tell you the truth. It is not. So they are trying to break his ranks. You can see the way they are now. I mean, leaving the party and joining APC. Let us wait for the party. They are already full of guys.
Party is having problem.
Hello, good evening. Even the NNPP has issues. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, my good people in the studio. Yeah, good evening, my good people in the studio.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, and I well done for the good work.
Thank you. Your name, where are you calling from, sir?
I am Matthew from Antony.
Matthew from Antony. Please go on, sir.
Atiku, yes, sir. To me, Atiku has great, but to me, I'm not really
bothered about the age.
If somebody of 90 years will come out to run election.
Hello? Okay, that the line was.
Baba
Mercy from Satellite Town. Please go on, sir.
This year, so you should know that the chairman of that party is associate. But he knew that, okay, it's right, partially trying to get inside the APC,
APC
to follow as well. So now, but what I'm thinking that if all this, but notwithstanding to me, whether Kwankwaso join or not join, and I know it can be advancing all these younger ones. But now, Obi now, which people are just bending up, he hasn't got a responsible, because all of them are against him, but the younger person that you are still thinking can challenge him. It's a bit. But Obi hasn't got to fight against him.
Thank you, Mr. Bademos.
What are we talking?
Good for him.
That's all right. That's good.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Bademos. Hello, Gege Joshua.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Barrister, I hear you. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother. How you doing?
Yeah, very well.
You know,
the issue as to local government election in Lagos is all about interest. When it comes to APC, when it comes to it's a whole lot.
See, now leaders they choose eventually. Is that what the issue is? Is that the fact?
Yeah.
So now leaders will eventually still choose.
Yeah, this is it. There are so many people who have been paying their dues, who have been, reaching out to the leaders of the party and others who have been so loyal. They want to compensate a lot of people. So when you pick up your form, you are only picking up for a form for maybe for recognition. So he had to leave the APC for Labour Party. Yes. So he's a whole lot. So if you want to succeed, basically, it is well.
And sometimes what counts for you is how many times you have stepped down for others.
So you keep contesting. So the guy don't try.
I don't try. Let's put it
09136 0000410. Political Roundtable Mainland 98.3 FM. We're looking at 3 issues and the future of the Kwankwasiyya movement.
Good evening.
What are you running on? PDP or APC?
APC now. I can't contest under that party now.
Okay, so what do you think about any of the 3 issues?
Any serious politician, Oga Barrister, any serious politician that has vision politically cannot remain Mr. President. Let me tell you, Oga Ford. You see, if I am to stay at that Atiku 101, I will advise you that Oga, it is time for you to quit. My fear is that let this election of 2027 will not be a problem to Atiku. His age cannot stand the trauma of 2027.
What trauma?
This is no game of sentiment, as I used to tell you. You can't contest. Atiku cannot tell you one particular thing as a legacy project in the northern part of Nigeria.
What about
somebody? How many children or masses are there? He has one pure water. He has one company. They call it
Faro. Yeah, I think Faro pure
Faro
water.
Is not a pure. Can you please, if they give you 1 million or 500,000 to get one bottle of Faro, can you get it within Lagos? I don't know whether in 5-star hotel.
His catchment area is in the north for the water. North. Just like
it's the catchment area of Barrister. It's catchment area. Look, let me tell you something.
But Malam Salah, but if you look at he may not have won the presidential elections.
Again, you have to understand that in
Malam Salah.
In 2023,
I'm listening, sir.
The PDP didn't have too many governors, and then they put up a decent show.
Peter Obi, we know the sentiment that brought Peter Obi. You understand? We know what the cause of Peter Obi, based on sentiment from the southeast.
Anger is the most effective campaign tool. Are you aware that Nigerians are so angry?
And it could have a serious effect.
I agree with you completely. There was no region that is badly hit by Tinubu's policies like northern part.
Okay, let's conclude, Malam Salah. Do you think Atiku should be on the ballot or not in 2027?
No, the president. Mr. President has no much opposition in APC. Also, Atiku will not have any opposition in PDP.
Okay,
he will be on the ballot.
What political future do you see for Rabiu Kwankwaso?
We had a very good argument with them, and I was telling them that the political future of Kwankwaso is blinking. But believe there's so much trust in him. You see, if you look at Kwankwaso has no option than to be in APC. The only thing that they will make some adjustment within him and
the APC to go to NNPP is because the APC couldn't accommodate his presidential campaign, and now that he didn't win, he's going back to the party. And don't forget that he will not be the first. And then tomorrow he will tell you, I can't preside over an empty house.
My people have all moved.
My people have all moved, so I'm going to.
A good politician in Nigeria, you have to have that.
Thank you, Malam Salah.
Another thing people do not know, a Kwankwaso will prefer a Tinubu to be president than Atiku. Kwankwaso and Atiku don't agree
on anything. Hello, good evening. Hello? Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Please go on, Mr. Sam. Yes, we definitely get to
I'm concerned. There is no any election going on in Lagos State. All I see in Lagos State is appointment. You understand? You can see the supporters. They are even telling you that it's a party. You are loyal to the party leader. This is what they will do. They will do that. It's there. Because you automatically politicians have succeeded. You understand?
they have interest when it comes to that local government. You can see the way they ridicule small bags going there to collect maybe 5 kg of rice, collect salt, collect this. You understand? This is
good evening.
The wise man, I greet all of you.
Yes, good evening.
I know he was going to call.
Since you start now, I don't do anything. What do you want everything?
Good evening, Prince Wise. How is Amu Olofi?
Oh,
you enjoyed the whole thing. You saw the president. I love that music from that guy. You know,
you want to secure this country.
I think for the first time we are seeing the president.
And it's strategy. Man has no party right now.
Kwankwaso
you know, party has taken over. You have no party now. Okay. But for Atiku, if God don't mind, see Atiku being my president, not that I can do. But as it is now, will we go back? Will we accommodate the PDP? Or will you go to this area if you want to go to ADC? But he will stay alone. Atiku will remain PDP, work with them. But if you want to form alliance, this man can never say that man from Kaduna.
Prince Wise, you say Atiku should remain in PDP.
To be with you. Please accommodate me. And if if somebody say wicked, not he hold them at the jungle. Wicked is doing something. And as well as relation with the wicked because that's why I say you can be a PhD in education.
A wise decision for Atiku to remain in the PDP. This PDP.
If we remain PDP, better for him. The citizens of Atiku. This is how we do Western Nigeria politics. Consensus candidates turn the primaries. Look at Mulewe. That where you already station the chairman, chairman of local government. That's why the man is winning.
Fight, just like that. I'm
telling you, tolerate is both of them. And that is why the man is winning now. Okay. Politically, the man is giant.
Okay. I want everybody is fine. Let's quickly take the messages we have on Facebook and Obe from Sabo Ijewoni by saying, as local government elections in Lagos is very much around, I congratulate those aspirants who have scaled through the hurdles, the first hurdles. However, those whose names has not been confirmed or cleared should please support those who have been screened by the party, and also want to beg those who might have been chosen to represent by starting from the zones, wards, and local government at large. Although APC will win all the 57 chairmanship seats and all the councillorship seats in Lagos, you know he's an APC member, so you know what
I know.
How it's used to deal with him, and I think he's talking about Atiku here, Balakwe all the way from Ojo. James Unwachu-Bona is saying the simplicity of the exercise is just like seeing the exam questions and the answers before writing the exam. To me,
it's still an exam.
At least, but it's just a useless exam. To me, local government election is just an election or just fulfilling of all righteousness. Left to me, they are wasting time as he wants. This is right. I encourage him to keep trying, even though I won't vote for him. I just registered my membership on the recently opened obedience portal. That's James Ogbonna. I remember that I think there's a portal, the obedience portal for members to register.
Have you registered?
I'm not an obedient, and I'm not a party member of any political president. They don't have say on their own, so accept more impositions because of the Baba-Ahmed politics. Atiku Abubakar should give up his presidential and ambition and support a younger candidate because age is not on his side.
Run for local government chairman.
The president should also emulate Joe Biden of himself, and that's from John Bernard Oyi. Father Epumiosi Mural is saying hello to us from T.A. Lagbaja Army Cantonment in Ikeja. Mural is Europe is fun fair inauguration of project and wedding in Katsina where under his nose right and people were being slaughtered. I'm saying, why are we wasting state funds conducting elections when winners are already determined? It still has to be done today. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Korede.
Somebody even said last week. Let's move on with
you. Know go happen. You know go happen. We have Joshua Shockingston saying, secondly, the Kwankwasiyya movement. Okay, I think that is we can.
Look, Kwankwasiyya movement is not a political party.
It's
not. Kwankwasiyya.
So yes.
So look, whichever vehicle Kwankwaso gives them,
they'll move into it and move.
So I can bet you
to be red, but the logo will be there.
These are the sound that is black.
Kwankwaso going to the APC.
For example, the implosion in Delta, for example, Omar Agege.
Which Omar Agege?
The president.
So the Omar Agege will have more influence than the president.
No. See, let's not be in the party already.
That
doesn't mean a governor will be the leader.
Barry, Voro. With all the resources at his disposal. And the worst that will happen is that for the governorship primaries, How does it work against the government? How many senators do you have?
It's not about why you talking about politics. It will work with opposition and then destabilize.
Have in Delta State.
Let me tell you something.
Do you know, there's _Mukuru.
I'll tell you something.
Okay, all right. I hear you. Yes.
There are conflicts that do not. You're just going to end the Russian-Ukraine conflict.
Well, okay,
I told you.
We will have this conversation again. Let's talk about marital matters. Let's talk about marital matters. Anyway, so what do you have for us on the round table on the marital matters this evening? Can men ever be satisfied in marriage?
Women be ever be satisfied?
If there is money, they will be
money.
If there's provision,
driver.
You people are always using this driver analogy, but there is the provision that you have.
Which provision?
What is provision?
Thank you, Nurin Adegbero. This is where we call it today political.